At this time, by tradition, we invite the outstanding scholar of the graduating class to the stage to share his or her thoughts. I'm pleased to introduce our valedictorian for the class of 2015. Please join me in welcoming Adam Chase to the stage.
When President Obama was being inaugurated his second time, there's this really cool moment when he's walking back to the White House and he's already given his speech, and he turns back and he says to his daughter, "I just want to take one more look. I'm not going to see this again." So before I start, I just want to take a moment and appreciate this picture of us, of our class, of the class of 2015, being together in the same place at the same time. Because we're all just probably not going to see this again. Fellow students, faculty, administration, family, friends, others, my name is Adam Chase, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to represent our class at today's commencement ceremony. As I began to prepare this speech, I thought to myself, for our speech, we should come up with a truly unique piece of advice to offer our fellow classmates as we go forward into this next chapter in our lives. Something inspiring, something deep, and something wholly original. So after countless hours of deliberation, I'd like you to consider these words. Class of 2015. As you go out into the world and face new obstacles and challenges, there's always going to be another mountain, and you're always going to want to make it move. It's always going to be an uphill battle, and sometimes you're going to have to lose. But it ain't about how fast you get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's, wait a minute. Guys, I just realized that is not an original piece of advice. That is Miley Cyrus's Decline. That is embarrassing. Okay. Not to worry, I prepared a backup. Class of 2015. As you go on to college, you're going to encounter people who just want to knock you down. People who want to tell you that you can't. People who want to tell you that you're not good enough. But just think, while you've been getting down and out about all the liars and the dirty, dirty cheats in the world, you could have been getting down to this sick, nope, that is Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. All right, I'm over 2 here. I'm gonna try one last time. I'm gonna speak from the heart. Class of 2015. When life gets crazy and you feel like you're all by yourself, all you have to do is just stop. Just take a minute. Just stop, collaborate, and listen, because Ice is back with a brand new invention, and, oh, that's not me either, that's Vanilla Ice. Oh, man. Sorry about this, I feel like I've come in like a wrecking ball. Oops, I did it again. Up with an original idea clearly isn't working very well. So instead, I will share with you guys my favorite quote. And it comes from who I believe to be two of the modern era's greatest philosophers, Calvin and Hobbes. If you've ever seen my phone background or my laptop background or read my yearbook page or talked to me for more than like 20 minutes, you probably know that I'm a huge fan of Calvin and Hobbes. And the strip that this quote comes from is probably my favorite. In it, Calvin and Hobbes are sitting outside under the night sky, and they're looking up at the stars. And Calvin says, you know, if people sat outside and looked at the stars each night, I'll bet they'd live a lot differently. And Hobbes says, how so? And Calvin says, well, when you look into infinity, you realize that there are more important things than what people do all day. First of all, I recognize the irony in the fact that I've spent the past 4 years with Mrs. Harrington and Mrs. Stoltz reading some of the greatest pieces of literature ever written, and my favorite quote comes from a comic strip of a 6-year-old boy talking to an anthropomorphic tiger. But I think that this quote conveys some incredibly meaningful ideas in a really simplistic and beautiful way. And I think the best way to unlock these insights is to try to answer the question of what Calvin meant when he said that people would live a lot differently. To figure out if there are more important things than what people do all day. What are those things? And how would understanding those things make us live a lot differently? So I took Calvin's advice, and for about the past year, every night except for a few when it was cloudy or when I was too tired to go outside, I spent a minute looking at the stars. The first thing you realize when you start stargazing, and especially when you start to read about space, is that we are incredibly, unfathomably small. And when you really start to understand just how small we are, that hubris which I feel is so common to humanity, that idea that we are the most important beings that have ever existed, and that our society and our civilization and our economy and our government are the most important things that have ever happened, all that kind of goes out the window. There's a book by Carl Sagan called Pale Blue Dot, and it's named after this photograph taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft. And this picture is mostly of dark space. But a little bit right at the center, there's this little blue speck. It's tiny. You wouldn't see it if you weren't looking for it. It's really only about a pixel. And you may have figured this out, but that's Earth. It's us. And in his book, Sagan has this really beautiful reflection on the picture, which I feel is very relevant to the question posed by Calvin Hobbes. He writes, "The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel, on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. We're about to enter college and begin deciding what it is we want to do in this world. And if we only spend our lives trying to accumulate importance, if we spend it trying to amass wealth or power or status, we are playing into the folly of human arrogance. We cannot accumulate some sort of arbitrary importance which exists apart from our own earthly perception, and we must live within the bounds of knowing that to attempt to do so is a fool's errand. We can build companies, we can command armies, we can be invited to dinner parties with all of high society. It won't change the fact that we are all still just specks on a dot floating in a sunbeam. Certainly working hard matters, grades matter, getting a job matters. And we shouldn't ignore or neglect these goals. But we should absolutely remember that while achieving these goals is a part of our lives, it should not be the sole focus. Life is not about collecting awards or titles or money. And if we only spend our lives trying to amass those things, we will be left empty. Instead, we must look for meaning somewhere else. And I believe that that place is in each other. I believe that the way to bring meaning into our lives is through forming relationships with the people around us. And so to answer the Calvin and Hobbes question, that is what is more important than what people do all day. We spend every day so focused on ourselves. We can be so focused on our futures, on our careers, on our accomplishments, on our resumes, that we forget to focus on the people around us. To focus on finding meaning in the relationships that we have with our teammates and our teachers and our family and our friends. Because when we look back at high school, we're not going to remember that we got an A instead of a B in that class. We're going to remember the people who brought joy and humor and love into our lives. And as we go into college, we need to remember that, so that perhaps we can spend less time worrying about ourselves and our resumes, and more time investing in the relationships that we have with the people who make our lives worthwhile. I've spent the majority of my life at this place with these people. And my only regret is that I didn't always take the advice that I just gave. It has been an absolute privilege to do life with you guys. And I hope that as you spread out across the country, the next time you look at the stars, you'll think back on us, on all of us, and remember the incredible journey that we've shared. Thanks.